They told me family was forever. But on my 18th birthday, I learned the darkest secret of my life. A secret that turned my world upside down and made me question everything I thought I knew. I grew up in a quiet town in the Midwest. From the outside, my life seemed ordinary. A middle-class home, 2 parents, and what looked like a happy childhood. But behind those closed doors, there were cracks I didn't understand as a kid. I remember how my friends would talk about family vacations, birthdays full of surprises, and parents who hugged them tight at night. My birthdays? They were different. The cake was there, the gifts were wrapped, but the smiles always felt forced, like my parents were actors in a play they didn't want to be part of. Still, I loved them, or at least, I tried to. When I was 8, I asked my mom why my hair was darker than hers, why my eyes didn't look like Dad's. She brushed it off with a laugh. "Oh, honey, genetics are funny. Don't think too much about it." But something in her eyes told me she was hiding something. By the time I hit my teenage years, the distance between us grew. My dad rarely came to my basketball games, and my mom never seemed interested in my school projects. I thought maybe they were just busy, tired, stressed. I told myself they still loved me, in their own way. But love, real love, doesn't feel like that. On my 18th birthday, I expected at least a small celebration. Instead, I got the conversation that shattered my life. We sat at the kitchen table. My dad cleared his throat. My mom wouldn't meet my eyes. "Son," he began, "there's something you need to know. We only adopted you. You're not our biological child." At first, I thought he was joking. My hands froze around the cup of coffee I was holding. But then my mom said words that burned into me forever. "We only took you in because of the government money, the monthly checks. That's all." I felt the floor collapse beneath me. 18 years of lies, 18 years of pretending, 18 years of believing I was theirs. And just like that, I wasn't. They didn't even hesitate. Within days, they kicked me out. No money, no family, no place to call home. I ended up in homeless shelters, moving from couch to couch when I got lucky. Nights were long and cold. I remember lying awake, staring at ceilings with peeling paint, wondering what I did wrong. I thought about every little moment, every ignored question, every distant smile, every time they forgot to pick me up from school. It all made sense now. I was never their son. I was just a paycheck. But even in that darkness, a tiny spark of hope stayed alive inside me. I told myself, maybe, just maybe, somewhere out there, my real story is waiting to be found. Months later, when I had almost given up, a man approached me at the shelter. He wore a suit, carried a briefcase, and introduced himself as a private investigator. "I've been looking for you," he said firmly. I laughed. "Yeah, right. No one's been looking for me my whole life." But then he showed me a photograph. It was a picture of a man who looked almost exactly like me. The same eyes, the same smile. "That's your biological father," the investigator said, "and he's been searching for you." My heart stopped. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. Days later, I was taken to a quiet suburban home. My real father, Michael, opened the door. His eyes filled with tears the moment he saw me. "Daniel," he whispered, "my son." He pulled me into the kind of hug I had dreamed of my entire life. A hug that felt real. A hug that said, "You belong." He explained everything. Years ago, he and my biological mother had divorced. In the chaos of court battles and bad paperwork, I had been taken into the system and somehow lost. He thought I had been placed with a loving family. He had no idea I was with people who only wanted the money. When my mother passed away, he never stopped searching for me. And now, finally, here I was. As we sat together, he told me something else, something unbelievable. He handed me a sealed envelope. Inside was a letter and a legal document. My father, he explained, Your grandfather was a successful businessman. He left behind a fortune. And in his will, it's written, his grandson, his real grandson, would inherit it on his 18th birthday. My hand shook as I read the number, $91 million. It didn't feel real. For years, I had begged my adoptive parents for affection, for love, for even a shred of care. And all along, the truth was that I was worth far more than they ever imagined. But not because of the money, because I had a family that truly wanted me. Over the next weeks, my life transformed. I had a real father by my side. He introduced me to cousins, uncles, aunts, people who welcomed me without judgment. People who said, "We're so glad you're finally home." For the first time, I wasn't a burden. I wasn't a mistake. I was loved. And yes, the money changed my life materially. But what changed me most was realizing my value had never been tied to a government check or a bank account. My value was in being someone's son. Looking back now, I realize something powerful. We don't get to choose the family we're born into. Sometimes, life puts us in the hands of people who don't deserve us. People who see us as a burden, or worse, as a paycheck. But that doesn't define us. What defines us is how we rise, how we hold on, how we keep believing that somewhere out there, love exists. Today, I stand not just as someone who inherited millions, but as someone who finally found where he belongs. And if you're watching this, feeling unwanted, feeling invisible, remember this. Your story isn't over. Sometimes the family you deserve is still out there, waiting to find you. Don't give up. You are worth more than you know.